This is TWiT. You know, a lot of times Tesla fans will call anybody that says anything negative, including you, a short. Oh, you must be shorting the stock. You're trying to take us down, man. And they don't really tolerate criticism well. And that starts right at the top with Elon. He doesn't want to hear any criticism at all. Your relationship got sour pretty quick when they found out you were writing this, right?
Even before. So in 2016, actually right after I officially decided I was gonna write a book about Tesla, I had a story come out, and the short version is Tesla was doing repairs of defective parts, including some suspensions that were breaking, and in order to get free or discounted repairs, you had to sign a non-disclosure agreement. And let me say once again what you just said, because that's stunning. If you wanted to get a free fix of their broken part, the thing they'd misdesigned in the first place, you had to sign an NDA, so that no one would know that part was broken. Yeah, and it was a sweeping NDA. You couldn't discuss what went wrong, how they fixed it, or that you even signed the agreement.
It's unheard of.
It's certainly in the car business, it's 100% unheard of. And the reason that was a really big problem is that NHTSA, the safety regulator, National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, they rely on two sources of data basically to make sure the cars are safe. One source is the car company itself. They want to self-report something, great. Can't really rely on that though. And so they also have this complaint database, and anybody who owns a car and has a defect that they think might have safety implications can go and report that to Tesla. I mean, not to Tesla, excuse me, to NHTSA.
NHTSA. Because of course. Because of course.
But then if you sign a non-disclosure agreement, you can't. And I think that sort of this is all. And anyway, so I wrote this story. I had a quote from NHTSA, and they said this is unacceptable. They have to stop doing it. They made them stop doing it. And Tesla responded not by saying, hey, that was a mistake, and like, thanks for pointing it out, and we need to do better or something like that. They called me a short. Well, they said they made up the story. They said that I was trying to prove that there was a specific suspension defect, which I said in the piece. I'm not an engineer. I can't prove that. That's up to NHTSA. And so basically they twisted my story and made me out to be someone who makes stuff up, and because I'm short the stock, or that I work for people who short the stock. Right. And of course, they made that up. They've never presented any evidence to suggest why that is, or why they think that, and it's not true. It's
the brush that every Tesla critic is tarred with immediately, and not just by Tesla, but by the Tesla fans, the Tesla owners. I mean, there really is a cadre of Tesla owners who they don't want to hear it. They stand by Elon, regardless. So let's just make it reminds me a little bit of a cult. It's like Scientology. If they have a PR problem, they do bad things to get rid of the PR problem instead of fixing the problem.
They like to go on the offensive. Yeah, and like that, especially in that 2015, 2016, even 2017 time period leading up to the Model 3, a lot of the stories I was writing, I was really trying to emphasize that, like, look, you may be getting away with this right now. This may not be the end of the world to the kinds of people that you're selling cars to right now, which are usually, well-off people, mostly in the tech sector, or people who really are into the idea of high technology and they want to be on the cutting edge. Those people, if their Tesla breaks down, they'll take the Lexus into work or whatever.
Yeah, it's exactly. I took the Audi A8 into work. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but when you get into the mass market, it's a very different kind of market. And ironically, I think people who aren't familiar with the business, they think, well, if you spend $100,000 in a car, you expect more of it. And you do in certain ways. You expect that it says something about you, or looks a certain way or performs a certain way. But really, in terms of what makes a car hard to make well, the cheapest cars are the ones that the customers rely on the most. And so, and you also build them in bigger volume, and so there's more opportunities to go wrong. That combination of having more things that can go wrong and having customers who are less tolerant when things go wrong is just not well adapted for, Tesla has not adapted themselves to that. And so, like, I was writing these stories saying, listen, you may be getting away with this now, but when you get the Model 3 out there and you're trying to sell cars at $35,000, $40,000, it's even there, which is not cheap. That there's going to be a different kind of buyer, and you need to start taking, the service really and the quality are the two main, and they're interrelated, because quality's bad, then service gets swamped, right? And that's exactly the problem that we've seen. And instead of, at the time saying, oh yeah, we are getting into a different market, we need to be doing this, or we are, or like we taking this seriously and we embrace this kind of, criticism, which again, it's constructive. I wasn't trying to tear them down. It was because I actually do agree with generally what they're trying to accomplish. And instead they attack and they make you out to be terrible, and they sick these hordes of people online to really just harass you.
And they'll sue you, and they'll go after you. And there's, cases of whistleblowers at the Tesla plant who, it's almost shocking how they've been smeared and attacked.
Yeah,
so,
it is.
And yet, everybody I've talked to has a Model 3 loves it.
Yeah.
The customer satisfaction on the Model 3 is very, very high.